Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Ya Mawla, help this servant of yours, Mawla, to talk to these friends, Mawla. Ya Mawla, I seek your help, your mercy. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to comment on the topic. The topic is a strange topic to pick, as we all love Imam. And I cannot dare to say that we need to learn the love of Imam. My intention here is to share my humble research, which is very limited, some of my humble views and thoughts, and my own part of my own journey. This topic is important because I have heard questions about it. And I'm going to quote Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman, may our souls be sacrificed to this Imam. He made the Farman at Nairobi, October 6, 1905. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Mawla says, when love acquires perfection, faith elevates to become one with the soul. We all desire it, to elevate to become one with Him. Our peers have actually talked about it very beautifully in Ginan. And I quote here, "E ji ab teri mohabbat lagi, dil mere mohabbat lagi, nainon se nain milao, o mere sahib, ab teri mohabbat lagi." O my Lord, now I am in love with you. My heart is filled with love for you. Let your eyes meet mine. O my Lord, now I am in love with you. E ji kholo pardha sanamukh dekho, has has mukh dikhlao mere sahib. O my Lord, open the curtain and look at me face to face. Bless me with the sight of your smiling face. Peers actually taught us with their example. And this is the stage, Peer is actually showing this level of love possible for us too. And this has been validated by another Farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah on 29 September 1899. Mawla says the status of a man is high, but he debases it himself with his own hands. Those of you who strive to become like Pir Sadruddin, Pir Shams and Mansoor can become so. You can even elevate higher than them. The question would be here, why don't we feel that love which our peers felt? We all love our Imam. What is missing? Interestingly, we learn that everything is in ranks, in darajat, even Imam's love. Reasons of not knowing that everything is in darajat, because we are learning in true knowledge. At least I am. When we start learning true knowledge, we realize that the knowledge has to be followed by practice. Some may challenge and say, we have been practicing all our lives. So I would give a very common example, I'm sure you must have heard it, that when you are in a canoe and you are trying to paddle, and if you have just one paddle, what will happen? You will go round and round and round. You will not go further. We got to have both the paddles to keep going further. And I'm going to tell you about this. Why is it important to realize this? with this farman, let's review another farman of Sultan Muhammad Shah. Maula says in Rajkot, 21st October 1903, how much is the difference between your and others' faith? Your faith is spiritual, while others' faith are physical. How much is the difference between the spiritual and the physical faith? If Mukhi Kamadiya don't impart this to children, and the spiritual words do not penetrate to their souls in childhood, the physical faith will dominate in the thoughts of children. Jismani deen. So if one practices but don't have the knowledge or understanding why we are doing it, it is called Jismani deen. Doing it with our bodies only, physically, mechanically, not realizing, not understanding, by Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. Now let us review a Ginan part, in which Pir says, Eji Ajazil Firishta Buzruk Kahiye. Eji Ajazil Firishta Buzruk Kahiye ane Buddhiwan Kahiye Taisa. 36 करोड़ किताबा पढ़िया पण भीतर भेद ना पाया. Ajazil, he was an angel, elevated angel, very intelligent and intellectual. He was a scholar, very learned. He had read 36,000 books. 36,000 books. But he did not get the essence of the religion. And we all know what happened to Ajazil. He became proud and he was not humble to prostrate to Adam. So no matter what, we have to have both knowledge and practice, ilm or amal. Before I keep going further on this talk, I would like to humbly say that the intention here is not to make anyone feel guilty. We all are learning and growing, and it is such a blessing to be all gathered here today to learn. Whenever and wherever we start, it's a blessing. So Alhamdulillah, we have started this journey. I recall Rabia Basri's quote. She used to go into market with 2 things in her hands. She was a Sufi, and that was her belief, and she would demonstrate it physically. She would go to the market, take a water bowl in her hand, one hand, and the other hand would have a stick of fire. And she would say, I'm going to burn the paradise with this stick of fire. And I'm going to extinguish the fire of hell with this water. So no one does the bandagi due to fear of hell or the greed of paradise. So the point here is that we should not be guilty. There has to be no fear and no greed. We are talking about love of Imam. And that is something which comes from inside. Guilt is a method to teach children. Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's time was such a time when we did not have worldly education. So Imam's farmans were very harsh at times, and he was teaching us in such details, giving examples, and telling us so specifically so many things that we would learn. In today's time, Alhamdulillah, in worldly education, we are very blessed. So Maula Bapa knows what is accountability. He knows that we understand that there are consequences of our action. So his method is different. In Quran, Prophet is given this title, Naziran wa Bashiran. Naziran meaning the one who makes you scared, like treating children. Give them fear so they don't go out or they don't do things which they are not supposed to do. Bashiran, the giver of the good news of the glad tidings. So I would say that Hazrat Imam, the way Hazrat Imam makes farman, because we are educated, he's very straightforward, simple and clear, because we know when Maula says ethics and morality, it covers such a broad part of what we are doing today. Everything comes into it. But because we are learning, and sometimes we have to go into details to understand every bit and piece, to be able to evaluate ourselves individually, to realize where we are lacking. So today when you listen to me, listen with the love of Imam in your heart. Imam's another farman of Zanzibar, September 13, 1899. Mawla says, you must clearly understand the matters of your religion. Those who understand, they still must learn more. And those who have never learned must learn. You will know when you read and listen. If you will not read or listen, then how will you know what is Ismailism? And we are so blessed, Alhamdulillah, we are today following this farman. So we are very happy and we are in love of Imam, Alhamdulillah. Hazrat Imam's farman, Mawla made this farman in India, September 23rd, 2006. Mawla says, education today is a lifelong exercise. It is not something you start as a child and finish when you are grown up. It is a continuous process. Now in worldly education, we have really taken this farman to our heart and we are continuing to learn to grow professionally, worldly, businesses, whatever we talk about. Today, we are applying this farman in our spiritual lives. We are trying to learn to be a student, to learn about spirituality. When someone accepts to learn spirituality, he or she accepts that they need to learn this knowledge. They are called mustajib in the hierarchy of religion, hudud-e-deen, which represents a moment, and moment is represented by soil. Soil, if it accepts water, becomes clay. Clay can be molded. So mustajib is the one who has accepted he or she has to learn true knowledge. So Alhamdulillah, we all are gathered here today as mustajib. Another farman of Hazrat Imam, I'm going to quote, November 30th, 1964. Mawla says, I give to each and every one of you my most affectionate, paternal, maternal, loving blessings. I accept your service. I am very happy with the band. Wherever you have gone, you have done honor to our Jamaats. Your organization has been much appreciated. I would like you always to make improvements in music and marching. This is the essence and meaning of life, to improve physically, morally, and spiritually. I have been very proud and enjoy listening to you. So today, Mawla Papa is very happy and proud to see us gathered here, wanting to learn how to elevate ourselves in spiritual lives. Now let us review what are the levels in love. There's a farman by Sultan Muhammad Shah and I could not find the reference. If any one of you has the reference, please share. Mawla has talked about that my farmans are like a belt on your neck. Now we all know who do we tie belt on their neck and what do we expect from them. Mawla expects that my farmans are like a belt on your neck, meaning that he is a master and we are all his slaves. That's the level of farman bardari expected from us. The farman bardari which is based on conviction, not convenience. That's the first level. He is our master and we are servants, we are slaves. And we do say Ya Mola, we happily give you our tan man dhan. And that's what it means. Now, second relationship, the second level is of parent and a child. And again, I'm going to quote a beautiful farman. This farman was made in Mwanza, Tanzania, October 8th, 1988. Mola says, "My beloved spiritual children, to all my spiritual children of Mwanza and all those who have come from outside, and to your families and to your jamaats, I give my warmest, my most affectionate, and my best loving blessings. Khanavadan, Khanavadan, Khanavadan. I would like you to know how immensely happy I am to have returned to Mwanza and be able to have in front of me today my Jamaat of Mwanza. It is a real happiness and a real joy." At the beginning of this farman, I simply wish to share with you some information. It is nothing to worry about, but to explain to you why the Begum is not with me. It is simply that 2 days ago, Prince Rahim had an accident. It was not a serious accident, but he had an accident which has required temporary hospitalization. And my wife left last night for the United States to be with him. Inshallah, he will be out of hospital tomorrow, and it is nothing serious. If it were, I would of course tell my Jamaat, because there must be no secrets between the Jamaat and the Imam of the time. But obviously, if a child gets hurt, any parent goes to it. This farman, amazing that Maula is giving us priority, his spiritual children over his physical children. That is his love for us, love of our Imam. So this is the second level of love which we should feel in our heart for our Imam, parent and children. And that's a second level of love. The third level is of a lover and beloved, Ashik and Mashuk. And that level has taught to us by our peers. Listen to this part. Peer says, "Eji kholo parda, sanamukh dekho, has has mukh dikhlao mere sahib. Oh, open the curtain and look at me face to face. Bless me with the sight of your smiling face." What does this sound like to you? To me, it sounds like a suhagrat. In our culture, bride keeps her face in the veil. That's how it sounds like. Pir is saying, "Eji kholo parda, sanamukh dekho, has has mukh dikhlao mere sahib." So for Pir, it seems that Imam is a beautiful girl, out of this world. Another part he says, "Eji chel chabila e suno albela, maya tu man beech lao mere sahib." Oh, the beautiful, oh, the lively and vibrant, create mercy for me in your heart. A beautiful girl, Imam is, out of this world, full of youth and beauty. And Pir is not able to stop but fall in love with him, so much so, he just can't stop. So the question here would be, was the Imam a beautiful girl for the Pir? The answer lies in the next part. Pir says, "Eji chel chabila, no, maafi. Eji chanchal chala joban matwala. Eji chanchal chala e joban matwala, mohabbat man mere beech lao." Oh my Lord, you are full of mysteries and vibrant with youth Create love for me in your heart, O my Lord. Mysteries, meaning miracles. What did Pir see? What manifestation of Imam Pir saw? These are secrets of Imam which are revealed to a Hakiki Momin, step by step, in darjat. Everything is in ranks. When we talk of these things, please do not take this physically. This is not physical. This is all batini experiences. Physical is a door to batin for sure. And to understand our physical life and physical recognition, physical affirmation, I would like to read another farman. Because when we focus things only physically, what happens to us? And this farman, Maula made at Nairobi, October 5th, 1962. Maula says, when I appointed the new councils and when I gave titles, there were some spiritual children who were big enough fools to chase after these titles and to chase after the positions of counselor or this or that. These spiritual children did not understand that what is much more important is what you have in your hearts, the light that you have in your hearts, the happiness that you get from prayer. I do not expect spiritual children to think that these matters of worldly titles are of importance. Maula is emphasizing these spiritual children did not understand. What is much more important is what is in your heart. The light that you have in your heart. The happiness that you get from your prayer. So Imam's ishq is in the heart. In the beginning, we do use our physical bodies to love the love of Imam, to learn the love of the Imam by doing physical khidmat. We teach our children to give duties to shoe company, become volunteers, scouts, girl guide, whatever. To do the service to get close to the Imam. But in reality, it is not that physical service which brings us close to the Imam, but what is in our heart during that service. There is so much emphasis we give on Nurani time, that 1 hour, and we ignore 23 hours. This is not to say that we undermine that 1 hour in any ways. Please do not take me wrong. But we need to realize that when we say that we love Imam, how are we expressing it during those 23 hours? So let's go back to basics. Let's go back to Kalam-e-Maula. This Kalam-e-Maula, Maula Ali, who is the Asas Imam, he talks about in a chapter, Dar Bayane Bandagi wa Neki. In the whole Kalam-e-Maula book, all the chapters, there is no single chapter dedicated to Bandagi. This one is. But it is not only Bandagi. It says Bandagi wa Neki. Why would that be? And if you pay attention to the whole book, there are so many chapters dedicated to deeds. How should we be in those 23 hours? We get so focused on 1 hour that we truly do not realize the importance of those 23 hours, and we expect results in that 1 hour. Imam says in Baitul Khayal, sit in humility. Now, how do you sit in humility? How do you sit in humility? If during the whole day, our mind is filled with thoughts of I have this profession, I have this house, I have this family, I am on part, I go to Jamaat Khana regularly. I don't miss any single day of morning Jamaat Khana. I do this seva. As soon as we are talking like that, and a tiny particle of arrogance is felt in our heart, Shaitan is celebrating. He is joyous. He is happy to see us lose the war against our nafs. In physical world, we are told that we need to brag about ourselves to sell our services or whatever. But that is also changing. People are looking for genuine, true people inside out. In spirituality, it is all about humility. आची बंदगी इबादत वे जो सब सू छुपा कर करिए, किसी बंदे को न जड़ाइए, अपने खुदा सू डरिए. The perfect servanthood and spiritual discipline is that which is performed without anyone's knowing. Do not let any creature know about it, and fear your God. Why fear God? As He is the one who knows what is inside our heart. We cannot judge anybody. We just have to think of ourselves. बंदगी नेकी खुदा काजे करिए, ना बड़ा करना अपना नाम. जो खुदा कारणे काम करिए, तो दरगाह में होवे कबूल तमाम. Perform pure servanthood for sake of God and not for glorification of your name. If work is performed for the sake of God, then it will be accepted in His presence. So in order to be successful in that 1 hour, which all we want, we have to learn to have ishq in our heart for Imam during 23 hours. 23 hours matter.